7 deck. The Epiphany. One day, I took my cleric deck to a friend's house. He was tired, I admit that. He didn't win very much. He would usually take his cards and stick them to his head in anger when things just didn't work out. This is the same friend that I pulled Phage out on him and killed him. It was really funny. This day, he really wanted to just sleep. But he had invited me over and forgot. So I stayed for one game, and he was winning that game. That is important. He's winning. But I have a way with the cleric decks of losing out over a long period of time. Clerics are very defensive, and they're good at preventing damage, gaining life, and I was making what should have been like big hits into like I gained 1 life or I lose a life. It was just going to take a million years to figure out what was going on, and he gave up, so I won that game. The great thing about clerics are, this is a black and white deck, are their strengths are gaining life, preventing damage, like the Soul Warden only costs 1, it's a 1/1, but anytime a creature comes into play, gain 1 life. Then the Weathered Wayfarer, search for a land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your library, but only do it if your opponent has more land than you. So if you got more land, hey, great. If you don't, then there you go. Beloved Chaplain, protection from creatures. That's fun. That means he's going to go through, and he can stop anything, as long as you don't have trample. And some of these cards are from my original Boobah deck, like this starter, Temple Acolyte. I realized during a tournament, I found out I couldn't even use it because it was part of the starter set. I was happy I asked ahead of time. It didn't get just kicked out of the thing. And then Pulse Mage Advocate. Return 3 cards in an opponent's graveyard to your hand. Return target creature card from your graveyard to play, which is an exhume in itself. So you got all that going on. Then, one day, the Epiphany part. See, clerics, that's the plot. This is the plot twist. One day I pulled this card, Cloudstone Curio. Whenever non-artifact permanent comes into play under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with it to its owner's hand. Well, that's you. That's your card going back out of play into your hand. Why in the world would I do that? Couldn't figure it out. But I also had this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the Edgewalker. There's 4 of these in this deck, because once one Edgewalker's in play, the rest of them cost 1. Exactly 1 for 2 2s. And it makes everybody, all of these guys, totally free. Well, that's the magic number that you want. When you're thinking about infinite combos, the moment you you see a 0, or you create a 0, you have the potential for making an infinite combo. So I realized, okay, then if I have the Cloudstone Curio in play, and I have a Soul Warden in play, and I have yet another cleric, the Wayfarer, I can play them for free over and over again. Pop. This one comes into play, triggers the life. This guy goes back. This guy's in play. Put this one in play. Take this one back. Gain a life. Bop, ba-da, bop, ba-da, bop, ba-da, bop. That's forever. So that's infinite life. What else can you do? Good question. Well, I also had the Genesis Chamber. When a non-token creature comes into play, if Genesis Chamber is untapped, that creature's controller puts a 1/1 mirror artifact token into play. Now, if the infinite combo isn't going on, I bought a few mirror tokens just, for the heck of it. But if the combo is going on, well, besides the fact that I'm probably gaining life every time that they're coming into play, that's infinite creatures as well, which on the next turn is infinite damage. Infinite, of course, I'm sure you know this already, you have to choose a number. Let's just call it 1,000, but it could be 1,000,000,000. On occasion with trickier players, you want to be safe about things, not go too crazy, because if something backfires on you, that could be a real problem. Like, let's say they prevent all the damage and gain that much life, let's just say, and then they get rid of everything that you had in play, well, then they have a huge advantage. But chances are low of that happening. What else? Then you have stuff like the Doubtless One, powered up by all the clerics. Beacon of Destiny. Next time any source would deal damage, have it dealt to this card. So Fireball, Channel Fireball. By the way, you better know that one. Channel Fireball. That'll be the pink screw coming up pretty soon. Channel Fireball for 100, right towards your face. I don't even care about your creatures. Boom. This one will take the 100. It'll die, but it'll take the 100. And then most of the other cards have a lot to do with just keeping the peace, really. I mean, for the most part, these are very peaceful cards. Though, if any of those artifact creatures die, this guy does damage each time that happens. Okay. Wish I had more of these. Even though it's just black and white, sometimes you want a card that does both. This one does both, since almost everything in it is a cleric. Just declare cleric, and it gives you any type of mana that you want, as long as you're playing. Oh wait, this is the Ziggurat. Oh, okay. As long as it's a creature, it works. It's a free. For a creature deck, this is a free City of Brass. So, I thought there was one. Oh, yeah. 2 other ancient lands, and then I'll give up. Ooh, this was long. I'm sorry. Starlight Sanctum is about sacrificing your clerics. You can either do loss of life or gain that much life. And this is useful if you're going to get that cleric back in a second anyway. It won't even matter. And then if you want to get somebody back from your graveyard, Volrath Stronghold puts it right back on the top of your library. And that's it.